Your LinkedIn headline is one of the single biggest drivers of LinkedIn search visibility, profile views, and recruiter outreach. Why? Because it's what the LinkedIn algorithm and hiring managers see first. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through a proven formula that will help you turn your LinkedIn headline into a job generating machine. This is a proven framework that we've crafted using data from more than 21,000 scans in our headline analyzer tool, combined with my own personal experience of building a following of more than 1.4 million people on LinkedIn, and the results of hands-on job search coaching with thousands of job seekers over the past 10 years, just like Becky here. I'm also gonna walk you through a live headline rewrite so you can go behind the scenes and see exactly how I implement this process with our clients. By the end, you'll be able to craft a LinkedIn headline that will help you show up in more searches, earn you more profile views, and most importantly, convert those views into interviews and job offers. Let's dive in. Here is the proven headline formula that we use with all of our private job search coaching clients. It's incredibly simple, just 4 components. So I'm gonna break down each one step by step and then reveal the full template with examples before we dive into that live rewrite. The first component is your job title. Including this ensures that you're showing up in searches for roles that align with your background. Now, you only have one LinkedIn profile, but you're probably open to several different roles. So don't be afraid to adjust the title in your LinkedIn headline so it's as relevant to as many of those target roles as possible. Just make sure it's authentic and accurate in relation to your experience. The second component are hard skills. These are the keywords that will help boost your profile visibility in LinkedIn's search algorithm. Since we only have one profile, we need a way to capture keywords that span all of the jobs that we're targeting while still keeping us competitive. Here's exactly how to do that. First, open a new document where you can easily copy and paste content. Next, head to your preferred job board and look for jobs that roughly align with what you're looking for. These don't need to be jobs that meet 100% of your criteria that you'd absolutely apply for. Instead, they just need to be a decent representation. When you do find one, copy and paste the job description into your document, and then rinse and repeat until you have a minimum of about 5 job descriptions. The more descriptions you use, the more accurate the keywords will be. Then when you're done, head to resumatch.io and select the job description scanner option. Paste all of your descriptions in, run the scan, and then check out the top 5 hard skills. Select the 3 that are most relevant because these are the ones that should go in your headline. The third component is metrics. Anyone can list their job title or list skills or list actions that they took, but metrics are what allow employers to clearly gauge your value and what differentiate you from your competition. When you're adding metrics to your headline, you want to think about big numbers if possible, things that you accomplish at a career level. Don't be afraid to group them together. And metrics aren't just revenue. They can also be centered around things like time, scope, efficiency, or productivity. I'll give you some examples in just a second. The fourth and final component is something that I came up with to help our clients really sell their value. I call it an I help pitch. As I just mentioned, most LinkedIn profiles talk about generic skills and actions, but most employers don't really care about those things. They care about results and outcomes. The I help pitch is your opportunity to tell employers exactly how you can help them. This is a great place to talk about your outcomes, to include social proof like client logos, and to inject those measurable metrics that we just talked about. So now you understand each part that makes up a great LinkedIn headline. So let's put them all together. Here is the full template that you're going to use. It starts with your job title. That's followed by a few hard skills, and then it closes with your I help pitch. And here's an example of what this might look like in practice. We're leading with our job title, data analyst in this case. Then we're adding a few relevant hard skills, R, Tableau, Power BI. And finally, we're closing with that pitch that specifically calls out the type of company we help, e-commerce companies in this case, how we help them by leveraging big data, and most importantly, the results that we've driven in the past, a 500% increase in customer retention. So hopefully that gives you a sense of how this might look in a real use case. but you're not magically gonna get this right on the first try. It's gonna take some iteration and it's gonna take some optimization. So I'm gonna walk you through a live LinkedIn headline rewrite for a real job seeker from our community to show you how that process works so that you can replicate it for yourself. Now I'm gonna walk you through the process of how I like to teach our clients to optimize their headlines. Sarah from our community was kind enough to volunteer her profile and headline for this experiment, so thank you, Sarah. But the first step that I always like to do is head to headlineanalyzer.io and run what I call a baseline scan. This is where we take the initial headline and we analyze it. This is gonna give us a baseline score so we can see what's working well and where we need to improve. So right out of the gate, Sarah's headline score is a 64. So we have some room for improvement. We're going for a 100 out of 100 here. Now, if you want a little more detail on the red X's or the green checks, you can scroll down and the tool is going to show you more information about your headline, about your hard and soft skills, about your value proposition. And this is going to flesh out the updates that you need to make just to make it a little easier to understand what optimizations are going to help you move the needle here. Now, our recommendation is to always focus on tackling one of the red X's at a time. That is the easiest way to optimize. So in this case, I'm going to do two things. I am going to take this headline and put it more in line with the template that we just talked about earlier in this video. And then I'm going to work on improving and adding that I help pitch. So here's my first pass at optimizing Sarah's headline. You can see that I injected all of her content into the template that we used and just talked about. So we have the job title up front, we have those hard skills next, and then we have this new I help pitch. So I'm gonna go ahead and analyze this. Awesome, so our score jumped to a 78. And we solved for the thing we were trying to solve for. We got the green check for the I help pitch. Now, the only thing that's left to do here is add in some measurable metrics and make sure that we're keeping things in the right proportions and we don't go too long with this headline. Because if I scroll down, you'll see that we're right on the cusp of having too many characters. So I want to keep that in mind as I continue to optimize here. But what I'm going to do now is brainstorm a little bit around how we could inject some measurable metrics into Sarah's headline and get us to that perfect score of 100. Okay, so here's my second pass at optimizing Sarah's headline. And she was kind enough to share her resume. I took a look and found this snippet right here, which showed that she'd built a 7-figure pipeline. So that was going to be my measurable metric. And then I cleaned everything up. So our final headline here is partner manager. That's our job title. Then we have marketing, partnerships, and AI as our hard skills. And then our I help pitch is I help Fortune 500 brands craft partnership-driven GTM strategies to generate 7-figure pipelines. So we're gonna go ahead and run that. And boom, we got that perfect 100 out of 100 score. So that's really all that it takes here. Take your headline as it stands right now, go ahead and drop it into headlineanalyzer.io, get that baseline score, and then take a look at where those red X's are and focus specifically on solving for one red X at a time. If you do that, you're gonna take your LinkedIn headline from where it is now into that headline that's gonna get you more profile views, more interviews, and more job offers. It's gonna take your LinkedIn profile from where it is now to a profile that turns into a job generating machine. Now, a great LinkedIn profile is a key piece of a good job search. But if you want to win in today's competitive market, you need a more holistic system. And that is exactly what we offer with our private job search coaching program. We teach people a system that generates value-aligned offers in about 15 and a half weeks with a $44,000 average raise, just like Rodrigo here. So if you need a little bit of extra help with your job search, head to cultivatedculture.com/coaching. You can book a completely free one-on-one 30-minute call with our team where we will deep dive into your background and challenges and map this system to your job search. Until then, best of luck optimizing that headline, and I will see you in the next video.